In this video we will discuss the life and work of Jean-Léon Gérôme, the French artist known for his academic and genre compositions. He was a brilliant painter who indulged a passion for sensual nudes and exotic Orientalist themes that would cross all boundaries. Who was Jean-Léon Gérôme? Let's find out, but first we welcome you to RealmsBeyond, your best destination for learning about the art world past, present, and future. We invite you to stay till the end of this video so you can gain a deeper understanding about today's featured artist. The son of a goldsmith and jeweler, Jean-Léon Gérôme was born in the French provincial town of Vesoul in 1824. An intelligent, studious child, he studied Latin, Greek and history at high school. He was taught drawing by Claude Basil Carriage, a neoclassical painter and former student of Jean-Auguste Dominique Ingres. Indeed, a young Gérôme showed an impressive talent for art, and his teacher instructed him to learn from plaster casts and models which he had brought to Vesoul from Paris. In 1838 Gérôme won his first prize for drawing, and his work caught the eye of a friend of the French historical painter Paul de la Roche. By the age of 16, Gérôme had obtained his baccalaureate and he left his hometown for Paris, where he went to study in de la Roche's studio, whom he adored. However, Gérôme had gone against his father's wishes in the move, and struggling to survive, he was forced by circumstance to paint religious cards which he sold on the steps of churches to scratch out a living. For 3 years Gérôme followed a strict routine, studying from casts in the morning, while painting or sketching outside in the afternoon. He was also encouraged to copy engravings and old masters in the Louvre and to attend classes at the prestigious École des Beaux-Arts. His dedication and ability eventually earned his father's approval, who, pleased with his son's rapid progress, gave him a generous allowance of 1,200 francs a year, which Gérôme often shared amongst his friends. In 1843 Gérôme and de la Roche traveled to Italy, visiting Rome, Venice and Naples. The young artist wrote in his diaries, "This year is one of the happiest and fullest in my life, and at this time I have made many major progresses." Through de la Roche's connections he met several young artists and burgeoning photographers, including Henri Lesec, Charles Niger and Gustave Legray. These new acquaintances would go on to influence the cinematographic look of much of his work. Indeed, in 1856, the French poet and novelist Théophile Gautier had championed photography as a means of enabling artists like Gérôme to paint images that were truly faithful to the real world. Gérôme had in fact returned from his first excursion to the Middle East with over 100 photographs, and though he allowed his imagination to inform his artworks, Gérôme's highly detailed paintings drew on these photographs to represent his own vision of the colorful region. In 1856, Gérôme embarked upon his first trip to Egypt and the Middle East. He traveled the Nile, visited Cairo, crossed the Sinai Peninsula and explored the Holy Land, including visits to Jerusalem and Damascus. He took inspiration from the North African landscape and its people, producing his first Orientalist works. Though the exotic and sometimes scandalous subject matter of his paintings attracted disapproval, there can be no doubt that Jean-Léon Gérôme was a technical maestro, a master of the spectacular who prided himself on a meticulous attention to picture detail. One of the most famous French painters of his generation, he can be credited with bringing about a transformation in historical painting. He was, however, subject to fierce criticism and controversy, mainly from realists and expressionists, who viewed his blending of academic painting with genre painting as falling somewhere between two outmoded schools. Nevertheless, Gérôme, whose pictorial worlds could certainly not be relied upon for historical accuracy, captivated a public that was won over by the skill and theatricality of his art. In his later career Gérôme reinvented himself as a sculptor, but he remains best known for his spectacular historical narratives that were made even more popular through the photographic reproduction of his images. In 1863 Gérôme married Marie Goupil, the daughter of successful international art dealer Adolphe Goupil, who he had been working with for 4 years. He described his 21-year-old bride as a young woman of rare beauty and charming grace. They moved to a townhouse at 6 Rue de Bruxelles, near the music hall the Folies Bergerac, immortalized by Edouard Manet's painting of the Forlorn Bar Woman. Their first child, Jean, was born that year, and they would go on to have 3 more daughters and 1 son. His good fortune continued when, in 1864, he took up a post at the prestigious École des Beaux-Arts, becoming one of the school's most respected teachers. Gérôme's professional relationship with Adolphe Goupil, known as the international powerhouse of contemporary art dealers, was crucial to the artist's success. Goupil sold photographs and photogravures of modern paintings through offices in New York, London, and Berlin, so after Gérôme became his most reproduced artist. Gérôme's career ran parallel with another French artist, William Adolphe Bouguereau. The latter's beautifully executed neoclassical nudes, religious and genre paintings were also hugely popular with the public. But like Gerome, Bouguereau divided opinion due in part to his disdain for Impressionism. And like Bouguereau, Gerome fell into critical disrepute after his death. Despite the fact that his work is held in collections by the Louvre Museum and Musée d'Orsay in Paris, the Metropolitan Museum of Modern Art in New York and the National Gallery in London, amongst others, Gerome's relevance, especially in recent decades, has been questioned. His bitter opposition to modern art not helping matters, Gerome became known in fact as the anti-Monet. As art critic Christopher Knight noted, from Manet to Cézanne, every artist we revere today was on the other side of the Gerome fight. Those criticisms notwithstanding, Gerome's influence can be seen in the work of American artist Thomas Eakins, from whom he learnt the science of observation and Gerome's heightened sense of realism. Another American artist, John Swihart, stated that he was genuinely obsessed with Gerome's different, exotic, strange, photographic, and perverse art. He has also been admired for his epic panoramas with his paintings of battling Roman gladiators cited by producer Walter Parks and director Ridley Scott as reference points for their 2001 Oscar-winning film, Gladiator. On January 10, 1904, Jean-Léon Gérôme was found dead in his room by his maid. He was described as slumped over at the foot of his masterpiece painting, which was entitled Truth. He was 79 years old at the time. This master painter will long be remembered as one of the giants in the world of 19th-century pictorial art.
If you're enjoying the content so far, I would really appreciate it if you could take a moment to subscribe to our channel. By subscribing, you'll be the first to know when we upload new videos, and you'll never miss out. Also, don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. It really helps out and lets us know that you're enjoying the content. And if you think this video would be helpful or entertaining for someone else, please share it with them. Finally, make sure to hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video.